welcome back. Today we have an exciting tale of a man from a distant galaxy that you should be familiar with, the weight of the world. The call started subtly, whispers carried on the wind that Clark, even with his super hearing, initially dismissed as atmospheric interference. Then came the screams. Not just the usual cries for help he routinely answered, but a cacophony of terror that seemed to echo from every corner of the globe simultaneously. He launched into the sky, a red and blue blur, his mind racing through potential cataclysms. Brainiac, Doomsday, a new alien invasion. But there was no invasion. There was no giant robot or crumbling city. Instead, he found people, millions of them, frozen in place, their faces contorted in expressions of unspeakable dread. Their eyes, wide and unblinking, stared at nothing or perhaps at everything. He tried to help, of course. He reached out to a woman, her hand suspended mid-air as if fending off an invisible assailant. Her skin was cold, clammy. He checked for a pulse, for breath, nothing. Yet her eyes remained fixed, unseeing, reflecting the horror that had gripped her in her final petrified moments. Panic, cold and sharp, began to prick at him. He moved from person to person, city to city, continent to continent. The tableau was the same everywhere. A world stilled, its inhabitants caught in a silent, agonizing tableau. It wasn't death as he knew it. There was no violence, no destruction, just stillness. And the eyes, always the eyes. He flew higher, desperate for a vantage point, for an explanation. From orbit, the Earth was a beautiful marble, but now it felt like a tomb. He saw the faint, shimmering outlines of something, stretching across the planet's surface like an invisible web. It pulsed with a faint, nauseating hum that only he could perceive. He tried to break through it, to tear it apart with his bare hands, but his strength, usually limitless, met no resistance, yet achieved no purchase. It was like trying to punch a ghost. The harder he pushed, the more the hum intensified, burrowing into his skull, whispering, "You carry the weight of the world, Kal-El." The voice was not external, it was inside him, a parasitic thought. He fought it, tried to expel it, but it clung to his consciousness, twisting his perceptions. He saw flashes then, moments of profound fear from every person he had ever saved, every life he had touched. The terror of a child pulled from a burning building, the despair of a woman trapped beneath rubble, the sheer primal horror of countless victims facing the end. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. They were never truly safe, not with you. Not when you could not be everywhere at once. Not when you could not feel what they felt. He stumbled, falling through the atmosphere, landing hard in the deserted streets of Metropolis. The city was a monument to his failure. Every frozen face was an accusation. He looked at Lois, caught forever with a half-smile on her lips as she walked down the street, perhaps thinking of him. Her eyes, usually so vibrant, were now mirrors reflecting his own growing dread. The hum intensified, and with it a new sensation. He felt it now, not just heard it. The collective terror of billions rushing into him, flooding his senses. It was a tsunami of pure, unadulterated fear. He gasped, falling to his knees, clutching his head as if to hold his very sanity together. He tried to cry out, to use his heat vision, his freeze breath, anything to fight back. But his powers, usually so much a part of him, felt alien, distant. They were still there, but he couldn't access them. He was drowning in an ocean of others' fear, consumed by the very thing he had sworn to protect them from. The whispers became a chorus, a triumphant roar within his mind. This is their burden, this is their truth. And now, Kal-El, it is yours. He looked up at the sun, his source of strength, but it seemed to mock him. A distant, uncaring eye in a silent sky. His vision blurred, not from tears, but from the overwhelming, suffocating weight of universal terror pressing in on him. He felt his own heart begin to race, not with exertion, but with a fear he had never known, a fear that was not his own, yet consumed him utterly. And then, his eyes, like those of every other soul on earth, glazed over, fixed on some unseen horror. His mighty hands clenched, not in defiance, but in a final, agonizing spasm. And the Man of Steel, the hope of humanity, joined the silent, petrified ranks of the world's last fearful inhabitants. The hum continued, a soft, satisfied thrum, echoing through the silent, fear-stricken planet. Would you like another story, or perhaps a different kind of tale? Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will see you next time.